Let's perform these operations in Simplify. And I've picked a lengthy problem that kind of has a division in it and a multiplication of rational expressions. And what I want you to do, I put the answer here, the answer is 10 to this problem, is after you copy the problem down, leaving some space up above and below so you can do your work, I want you to turn this back on and to see how you do it. But hopefully you'll get to, the answer comes out to be 10, which is looks a lot nicer than this. All right, so let's go through this. I have 5x squared minus 45 over 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 divided by x squared minus 4x minus 21 over 6x squared minus x minus 1 times 2x squared minus 10x minus 28 over 3x squared minus 8x minus 3. So what I want you to do right now, after you copy down and leave some space, is to go ahead and do this problem and see if you get 10. If you don't, you can turn this back up and watch me, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, welcome back. I've started this problem a little bit, and if you didn't get 10 or if you did and you want to see how I do it, this is what I did. First of all, the first thing I want you to do is to take this division sign, make it a multiplication, and actually flip this fraction. So notice I have the 6x squared minus x minus 1 here and the x squared minus 4x minus 21 here. I usually lightly line that out so that I don't get mixed up, because especially something this large you can get mixed up. Then I notice I have a term. I have all these terms, you get the idea, and I need to have factors in order for me to cancel to simplify. So what I did is I started here first. I noticed with my eyeball I could take a 5 out, so I took the 5 out. I have x squared minus 9. I see that this is a difference of two perfect squares, so then I factored it some more, and I lightly put a line through those so that they don't bother me, but I still can kind of read them. Don't scribble them out. Down here, you can either, to factor this, you can either use splitting the middle, which I've shown you already, and you can do the work on the side, or you can guess and check to find this, but make sure that it works. So what I did was, I see this is 2x squared here, so I put a 2x and an x. Then I got factors of a negative 2, and I had to have a positive 3, so I put the positive 2 there and the negative 1. When I check it, I get 2x squared plus 4x minus 1x. There's my 3 minus 2. So that's factored, so I lightly put a line through that. Now here, I have the 6x squared minus x minus 1, and I want to factor this. Well, this one I had to think a little bit about, because I could say, oh, I got 6x squared by 6x and 1x, or I could use 3x and 2x. I tried the 3x and 2x, and I saw that I had to have factors of a negative 1, so I have a positive 1 with a 3x, and a negative 1 here with a 2x, and if I check it, I have 6x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 1. So then I'm going to lightly put a line through this so that that doesn't bother me. Right? I'm going to factor this down here. So I have an x squared minus 4x minus 21, so I have an x and x. And I have to have factors of a negative 21. That'll give me a negative 4, so I have a negative 7 and a plus 3. Let's check it. X squared, there's my negative 4x minus 21. I always check it before I lightly cross it off. Right? Here I have 2x squared minus 10x minus 28. Well, the first thing I want to do is draw two parentheses, but I don't want you to forget that you can use your eyeball and you can look at it and say, oh, I can factor a 2 out of all that. And if you do that, it will make it much easier. So let's take a 2 out. So I have x squared minus 5x minus 14. Okay, so I check it. Looks good, so I lightly line it. And then I said, oh, wait a minute, I can factor some more. So I have a 2, and then this I can use a 2 parentheses, and it's a negative 14 with a 5. So I can use 7 and 2. So I have a negative 7 and a positive 2. Let's check that. X squared plus 2x minus 7x. There's my minus 5 there. Nice. Okay. Lightly cross that out. And then this one right here is a 3x squared minus 8x minus 3. I can't pull anything out, so I'm going to go right to 2 parentheses, or splitting the middle. That's why I showed that to you, because it works every single time. So I have a 3x and an x. I have to get an 8 in the middle, so I'm going to do a negative 3 here and a positive 1. Let's see if that works. 3x squared minus 9 plus 1 minus 3. Okay, so I have got my factors. And it looks quite messy, but if you go through it, so I have a factor, and now the fun part begins where we get to cancel. This is what I like. Okay, so I have an x minus 3 here, x minus 3 there, I made a 1. Then I have a 3x plus 1 here, and a 3x plus 1, I made a 1. the 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1, I made a 1. X plus 3, I made a 1. X plus 2, I made a 1. X minus 7, I made a 1. So I look, so you have to kind of watch it all, and I look, and it looks like every factor is canceled out except the 5 times 2, so the answer is 10. So I hope you got that. It's a challenging question, but you need to know how to factor, you need to know how to make sure, you need to know how to flip this fraction. And the canceling is the fun part.